Hi guys, White Witch 110 here. Happy Thanksgiving to my Canadian subscribers. If you're celebrating today like we did with our son. He left not too long ago. He stayed to watch the football game and had some ham and such. Sent him home with a lot of stuff. Poor kiddo. Okay, yesterday spent the entire day with our daughter, her husband, and his son. Um, we went to a mystical wellness fair, and they had quite a few booths set up. Some I can honestly say they were just there to get money. Um, one of the tables, actually, everything the woman had looked like she'd got it off of Temu. Could be wrong, could be right. I don't know. There were a few uh, people there with their tables that for sure are of the magical type, and other ones definitely were not. Um, anyways, I'll show you what I did buy. First purchase was Dark Moon Magic. I'm looking forward to going through this book and reading it. And then, while I was at that booth, I also got some coffin nails. These are smaller than the one that I got at Witch Chest. I don't know if you can see them very well. Let's see. If we use this, can you see it better? Well, anyways, there's quite a few in there. Then I purchased this little resin kitty. Oops. You can see, so cute. Yes, there was a whole lot of different colored ones and even smaller ones, but this one stood out to me. And then a desert gem or desert stone. I'll have to read up on that, but I have seen this before. And then the last thing that I purchased was the raven. Isn't he cute? Yeah, some of the prices weren't too bad. Other prices were like, ouch. There was a beautiful long necklace of different tiger's eyes. When I asked the woman, I think she said it was 125. I said, that's definitely too much for me. So I walked away from her booth. Very nice lady, though. She did look around, but she didn't have anything smaller, like a bracelet with it. So I didn't purchase anything from her. Would I go back again next year? Yeah, I would go back again next year, see if the same people are there or not. One woman had her singing bowls there, huge white ones. It was amazing, absolutely amazing. Now I wish I have a brass one, and we're not connecting at all. So I really wish I had had something that's a gem or a stone. But we'll see. Maybe sometime in the future. Who knows? But that's that. Then from that one, we went to a farmer's market, and I got this delicious homemade cheese bread. My mouth waters just thinking of it. Then we went back to their place and had lunch. And then we sat and started watching Linus, I think it's called. Started watching that, got into that program. Then we eventually had dinner. And then we finished watching the first season of that. We got home around 9 shortly after. So it was a nice full day with family. And then this morning we were at Costco, we came home. What did we do? We came home, had something to eat. I started getting things ready for dinner. Got all that done. got the bulk of the dishes done, and then just did some of the pots now, because we just have a small drain basket, and I still have a couple of pots in the sink that are sitting, soaking, and we also have laundry going. So it's been 2 packed days for us. Tomorrow, hopefully a bit slower. Let's see. Yeah, we just have all the blankets that we'll be washing tomorrow. And that really would be about it for that stuff. I think we're gonna put away summer stuff because summer's definitely gone. It's not returning. So it's best to put all the summer coats or very light fall coats and stuff away. Same thing with my shirts. Anything that's sleeveless is going into those vacuum bags and being put away. So that'd be good. Very, very good. Okay, so that's it. So I do have a story that I'm going to read. First of all, I'm going to place my items back where I had them. So this one doesn't have a title as well, but let's get into it. Have you sat and listened to the rain? Really listened to it? Did you hear the voices? Yes, the millions of voices waiting to be heard. I heard them that night in late September. It was like every other rainfall, or so I thought. Wrapped in my favorite maxi coat, I was comfortable in my chair. I often sat for hours listening. It calmed my nerves after a hectic day. The sky had grown darker as the sun set behind the gray clouds. The aroma of nature, soaking wet, was something not to be missed. The rumble of thunder and flash of light spreading across the sky. I watched strike after strike upon the old willow tree. Its branches had been bare for years now, but there it stood as a testament of strength. If it could only talk. The first droplets of rain greeted me with hello. It was clear as you and I talking. I answered with kindest regards back. It wasn't till mid-October the voices became more sinister. The words, at times, were more difficult to comprehend. I approached the subject tenderly with my neighbor Joe. He hadn't had the nerve to speak of it to me. Joe had been hearing the voices for some time now. He was always glad for winter because they went away. It's difficult to speak as snow, I guess, he said. Joe could never make out the words. In truth, he never wanted to. I can't blame him. I wish I had been as lucky. I could decipher the garble, syllable by syllable sometimes. What are they saying, Jem? He wanted to know. They're talking about someone coming? I listened more intently. Coming when the last leaf falls. This was repeated continuously. I suppose that could be Old Man Winter, he suggested. I wasn't sure. The voices were persistent over a period of hours. When the rain stopped, all was quiet again. The puzzle left behind who was coming. I would have to wait for the next rain. I didn't wait long. 2 days later, the sky opened up, the familiar patter on my awning. It was time for answers. I took my usual place with an extra blanket. I closed my eyes and rested back. Words began to form. Within minutes, the identical message was coming through. Who is coming? Do I need to prepare? The angle of the rain changed. The words were clear. Yes, he's coming soon. I still had no answer as to who. I had no idea when or how he was coming. In the morning, my blanket was damp and my back stiff. Joe was anxious for the next message. I gave a disappointing response. It didn't say. It was days before the next rain. During this time, my dreams became nightmares. The rain beat on the roof of my home relentlessly. The ceiling began to collapse above my head. In minutes, I could see the sky. The clouds were black, and the wind nothing I had ever experienced before. This is when it came. A large skeleton hand. It plunged into my room and ripped me out of bed. My screaming woke me. I was drenched in sweat, my breathing quick. Immediately looking up, I realized it was a dream. Relief wasn't sweet. I worried this would come true. I had to tell Joe. Keeping this to myself brought anxiety I didn't need. I hope it doesn't happen. Let's say it's a nightmare. It's all the excitement. The next rain was due in a storm. Joe decided to join me on my covered porch. Are we safe here with lightning in the air? He inquired. Yes, don't worry. Sit back, cover up, and get comfortable. It began with the earth beneath us shaking. One drop, then another. There was a sickening smell we couldn't describe. It soon passed as the rain became intense, but there were no voices. I strained to pick up any. There was none. A bolt of lightning lit up more than the sky. Joe jumped up from his chair, grabbing the blanket around him. The expression on his face, he was terrified. He pointed beside me. By the time I turned, it was too dark to see. Sit down, I instructed him. Next flash sent me out of my seat. Between us, a maple leaf in full color dropped. Slowly, our heads raised. Together we uttered, when the last leaf falls, he'll be here. One more thunderous clap and streak across the sky. From the dark alleyways stretched two skeletal hands. We didn't move fast enough. We were stunned by the scene. In one swoop, we and the house were gone. The storm ended. Where the house once stood is now a grassy field. Not one sign of the house has ever been seen. A week later, two teenagers walked the field. Look, one shouted to the other. Two blankets laid within the tall grass. They each wrapped a blanket around themselves. Moments later, it began to rain. Moments later, they heard voices of warning. A man and a woman desperate. He'll come when the last leaf falls. He'll come. If you're on your travels and you find blankets in a field, never pick them up. The voices will come, and he won't be far behind. I hope you enjoyed that. It was a quick story that I wrote. I'm looking for ideas for my next one. Hopefully they come soon. But you never know. We still have the gnome here to finish up. Looks like he needs another coat of black paint around his boots. That'll be easy enough to do. So to everyone, have a great rest of your Sunday. And until the next time, from a cold Ottawa, ciao for now.